Hey guys, so we're outside, we're here in Dominica, and I just wanted to talk about the faceiq controversy. So, I've been following a raw primal diet for about 2.5 months now, and I've felt pretty good now, and my acne's getting better. Obviously, it's not fully healed, and it'll take time to do that, since I'm still a teenager and producing all the hormones and whatever, and getting toxins in my environment. But other than that, I've been following a couple carnivore YouTubers, a couple raw primal YouTubers, people like Resident Raw, people like Bart K, and all these other people. But one of the notable ones was faceiq, and you may have heard of the new controversy between him and carbs. So, he used to eat basically zero carbs. Like, if you ate carbs, and he reviewed your diet, he would say that your diet was bad, basically, because he just didn't like carbs. So he always mentioned the Randall cycle, he always mentioned things like that. Now, I'm not a zero carb kind of guy. I don't think zero carbs are the best way to eat, because obviously you still have stress on your liver trying to produce the glucose for your blood and for the glycogen as well. It's not as good of a conversion rate as just having a little bit from like milk, or maybe just a little bit from honey. And I follow a little bit of Agnes von der Planet's ideas and things like that, where raw honey, unheated honey turns into enzymes and things like that, and I feel great doing that. But for some reason, faceiq recently, he's been on like a rant of like doing crazy stuff. Now, my own theory about this, I think it's a social experiment. I think it's just to get clout, because why would he switch up his stance this quick? And actually, I think like maybe a month and a half ago, he did this like community post where it was like, raw meat and a cigar is healthier than raw meat and fruit, or something like that, which is absolutely ridiculous, because one of them is a cigar, which is basically a carcinogen, proven to be a carcinogen. Yes, it does have an aromatase inhibitor, but it is also kind of a carcinogen. And that's not even close to fruit. Yes, what's the worst thing that fruit can do? Probably glycation. That's basically it though. It depends on how sugary it is, but your body can handle that. That's actually food. Your body's not naturally gonna be able to handle a cigar, right? Because a cigar has adverse effects, different effects. I don't know much about cigars, but one thing I know, it's definitely not healthier than raw meat and fruit, right? And that was a crazy thing. I think that was rage bait as well. It's very obviously rage bait. He would probably get destroyed in a debate about anyone who knew anything about cigars, right? And, and then recently he did the video about carbohydrates. Fructose IQ rates primal's day. And he recently did another primal thing. So it's just kind of weird to me why he's switching up all of a sudden. Now, there's theories about it, but I think it's a social experiment. But there's people like Edward Goki, I don't know what his name is, Edgar Goki, and Resident Raw responding to faceiq's videos about that and his stance on it, and also Marcus, or whatever his name is, responding to that. But it's almost as if like it's an experiment, because I don't see how he could. He kept putting up the argument of the Randall cycle. Oh my God, you cannot mix fat and carbohydrates together, which, yes, it cross inhibits each other, but it's not going to be that bad. It depends on how much you eat and really what your overall macros are and how you do them, right? And I think my stance is, if you eat a little bit of carbs, you're going to be fine, because you're going to take the stress off your liver a little bit more, and you're not going to need to have gluconeogenesis, which I think is the word, right? And I feel great, because if I eat like raw milk for my carbs, I feel great. If I eat a little bit of fruit, I feel great. If I eat a little bit of honey, I feel great. Obviously, overdoing it, you're not gonna feel as good. But your main fuel source still should be fat. So, Resident Raw thinks it's not actually, he's actually being real about it and like switching to like kind of like a repeat diet, which if he is, this is like super scammy of him, because he's made a lot of arguments in the past against carbohydrates at all, which I don't think is that bad. But now he's going like the exact flip opposite side, and he was bashing on Paul Saladino for his insane amount of carbohydrates. And I don't know. I just don't think it's realistic. I think it's a social experiment that he's running. I don't think he's actually being serious. But if he is, then like it's kind of scary then, because why did he switch up? Like, there's no reason to switch up. You know, he has all this evidence, like ancestrally you look at it, and humans ate fat as their main energy source. So why is he now switching over to carbohydrates, right? But you can tell he's following like the same things that Ray Peat says. So he might just be parroting and actually like making fun of the Ray Peaters, but I don't actually know. But yeah, guys, drop your theories down in the comments. I really don't know what's going on, but it's not like I care that much, because I have my own beliefs, my own intuition, and I hope you guys do too. Stop listening to like these cultist people. Don't listen to Agonists, don't listen to Godis, don't listen to anybody else. Just listen to yourself, unbiasedly, you know, unbiased. Experiment on yourself, and that's the best thing you can do. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll see you guys soon. But yeah, that's my take on the faceiq situation.